if you believe in free speech in Canada, what Justin Trudeau just announced in the fall fiscal update has to be a concern to you and has to be opposed. So Justin Trudeau just announced $595 million, so over $500 million, to quote, help Canada's media sector. Now listen to this. What this initiative is going to do is it's going to, quote, help trusted sources in the media based on criteria set by a panel of people selected by Justin Trudeau. What this amounts to is Justin Trudeau buying journalism in Canada. I'm not making this up. If you go onto the Globe and Mail, National Post, Twitter right now, everybody's talking about this.
For the last few weeks, the world's focus has been on Venezuela as Trump pushes for regime change. Almost every media outlet paints the same picture, that Venezuela is a brutal dictatorship in a starving nation, one that demands intervention, and that they finally have a solution to the crisis, a legitimate claim to power by an opposition politician, Juan Guaido.
As civil society collapses, America confronts the socialist dictatorship.
Maduro stole the previous election. He locked up and he tortured anyone trying to unseat him.
There's no toilet paper some days in Caracas. They're eating zoo animals. What happened? Well, you know what happened. They implemented socialism.
The eyes of the revolution are everywhere. President Maduro's militia still trying to keep the people in line.
Guaido is investing in the people, whereas Nicolas Maduro is investing in the army.
So this is a neighborhood Juan Guaido feels safe in. This is one of the wealthier neighborhoods of Caracas.
Despite the faux dissent against Trump's domestic policies, the corporate media has lined up to support his coup in Venezuela.
The deaths already occurred in connection with the sanctions amount to a violation of Article 7 of the Statute of Rome. Article 7 defines crimes against humanity. Now, when you deliberately impose sanctions and financial blockades and an economic war that asphyxiates a country's economy and thereby make it very difficult for that country to provide the necessary food and medicines to its population, and as a consequence, thousands of people die, you have a case of crime against humanity.
A tax on carbon means more money taken out of Canadians' pocket. Right. The Prime Minister is trying to sugarcoat the reality by saying carbon pricing, but Canadians are not fooled. That's a new tax. This is bad news for Canadians. They already pay for their share of taxes. Will the Prime Minister guarantee Canadians today that the price of their groceries, gas or heating will not go up because of this new tax?
Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians need economic growth and good jobs at the same time as we protect the environment. That's exactly what this government is showing the leadership around doing that had been lacking for far too long from the previous government. What we're also guaranteeing is that this tax, this pricing price on carbon will be
Order. I know members are anxious to applaud the Prime Minister, but they should wait till he finishes his response.
I know we're all thinking about people that are affected by flooding. This flooding is happening here in Quebec. It's happening in Ontario. It's happening in New Brunswick. And really sadly, that what we thought were 1 in 100-year floods are now happening every 5 years, in this case every 2 years. I remember sandbagging with folks in both Ontario and Quebec just 2 years ago. People whose houses were being affected, whose lives were being affected. We know that climate change is real and that we're going to continue to see this. And that is why we have to act, and we have to act together. And that also demonstrates the importance of this summit. Nature and nature-based solutions are critical in the fight against climate change. Nature acts as natural sinks for carbon, but also It helps build resilience of communities done well.
Last week, I asked this government to address urgent food insecurity in our north because of climate change. Well, did they ever deliver? Giving $12 million to Loblaws, a company headed up by the second richest Canadian. Liberals also gave $4.5 billion to a rich American oil company. And in the eyes of this Liberal government, it's clear that every problem can be solved by giving money to your billionaire friends. Meanwhile, First Nations already hurting from climate change get nothing. So instead of favors for their billionaire friends, when will this government stand up for First Nations and Canadians already hurting?
Honourable Minister of Environment.
It gives me great pleasure to actually talk about climate change and the action our government is taking. We're phasing out coal, investing in renewables, and have a just transition for workers. We're investing in clean solutions so innovators, entrepreneurs across the country create good jobs. We're, of course, investing in energy efficiency, and the program that which the member opposite is talking was a fair and open competition. It was based on the most emissions, the most bang for your buck. It will remove 50,000 cars off the road, and the company in question is paying 3/4 of the cost. But the real question Canadians want to...
Bonsoir tout le monde. Merci.
Good evening, everyone.
Je suis ici pour annoncer
I'm here
que Jody Wilson-Raybould
to announce
et Jane Philpott
that Jody Wilson-Raybould and Jane Philpott are no longer members of the caucus.
Are no longer members of the Liberal caucus. The trust that previously existed between these two individuals and our team has been broken. Whether it's taping conversations without consent or repeatedly expressing a lack of confidence in our government and in me personally as leader, it's become clear that Ms. Wilson-Raybould and Dr. Philpott can no longer remain part of our Liberal team.
There's been a new development in the Skripal case in the United Kingdom. It's been revealed one of the first people on the scene to administer help to the poisoned ex-Russian spy and his daughter was a senior army medic. With the details, here's Artis Polyboyka.
Yeah, it was a senior army medic and her teenage daughter, it's been revealed, were one of the first responders when Sergei and Yulia Skripal were found collapsed on a bench in Salisbury last March. Now...
All right. Do you know how long you've held up people picking up bags? I've been waiting in line down the road for 30 minutes while you've been here soaking up the race. Thank you. You know?
Excuse me.
You're not getting my vote. This is a free country. It's a free country, and I'm trying to speak to him, and he won't even acknowledge me. Yes, sir. Thank you. I'm sorry for your challenge. It's not my challenge. I'm a volunteer trying to help someone save their home.
Sir, we've been filling sandbags as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, while you're here, nobody can pick up.
I am here.
While you're here, no one can pick up
I don't know
sand.
that, sir. I'm sorry.
Well, why don't you make yourself aware?
We are going to.
You know, I was with a guy who was a staunch conservative, and
sir,
he said if you'd actually do
Janelle,
work,
yes.
he'd change his vote and vote for you.
Sorry, sir. Calm
That's
down.
sincerity.
I just spent half an hour. Can you listen to me, sir, now that I've listened to you?
Yeah, I'll listen.
Okay. I'm glad to be here with my kids. We just filled sandbags for 15 minutes,
But you which
held
isn't
people
enough.
up. Sorry.
All
sir,
your RCMP and
sir,
security
sir,
held people up from getting their
I can
stuff.
understand your frustration around security. I live frustrations with security every day of my life right now. That's something that unfortunately is a reality of my life. But I'm happy to be here.
They're about to open these
speak.
dams.
I'm happy to be here to speak with you, to listen to you, to speak with all and to encourage more Canadians to come out and volunteer. More people are coming and volunteer because
I volunteered, but I was in a truck for an hour waiting while you were here with a photo op.
I have
the most
frustrations with
insincere
security
thing
as
I've
well.
ever seen.
I'm sorry, sir. That's unfriendly and unneighborly today. We're here to help. Thank you.
Do you agree with your ambassador to China that Ms. Meng has a strong case against extradition?
We have always highlighted that Canada is a country of the rule of law, and we will make sure that the rule of law is properly and fully followed. That, of course, includes the opportunity for her to mount a strong defense. That is part of our justice system, and we are going to apply that justice system in its integrity as all Canadians, and indeed as people around the world expect us to do as a country. We are a country of the rule of law. We will stay grounded in that at the same time as we advocate and engage in serious efforts to support the Canadians who have been arbitrarily detained in China.
Prime Minister,
Morning. Is Ozzy Abidi coming to Canada, sir?
with the charges against Huawei, how likely is it that the Canadian government will do any 5G business with Huawei?
We are focused on fulfilling our international obligations, our treaty obligations, making sure that the rule of law is consistently and integrally applied. We are a country of the rule of law. We're going to make sure that the law is always respected and the independence of our justice system holds. Something that I was immensely pleased to discover, that the new Prime Minister's office in the West Block was an office that was occupied by my father when he was Minister of Justice. And throughout his career, he was dedicated to that principle of justice, the just society, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. And his approach of justice and fairness infused everything he did, and certainly was something that he raised me with.
That we invest in the middle class and in people working hard to join it. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you.
People in Grassy Narrows are suffering from mercury poisoning. You did it. To addressing this crisis.
Thank you for being here. Thank you very much for your donation tonight. I really appreciate the donation to the Liberal Party of Canada. And as we know, the Liberal Party is filled with different perspectives and different opinions, and we respect them all, and our commitment to reconciliation continues to be strong and committed, and we will continue to engage. Thank you, sir, for your donation to the Liberal Party of Canada. I really appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you for being here. That is why we are moving forward on reconciliation in a real and tangible way. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for highlighting how important reconciliation is. Thank you for being here tonight, sir. Thank you very much for your donation to the Liberal Party. So, as I was saying, we move...
The allegations in the Globe story this morning are false. Neither the current nor the previous Attorney General was ever directed by me or by anyone in my office to take a decision in this matter.
With regards to the Huawei matter, your line has always been that politicians cannot interfere with an independent judicial process. Do you think the Chinese will believe you now in light of what we've heard about the SNC-Lavalin case and the Norman case before that?
We have been consistent that Canada is a country of the rule of law that respects the independence of the judiciary and always will. That is something that we stand up for on the international stage. It's also something we ensure on the domestic stage.
Canada's foreign minister was interrupted by peace activists at an event on Friday. Members of the Quebec Movement for Peace confronted Minister Chrystia Freeland at the HEC Montreal Business School to denounce Canada's policies towards Venezuela. Their demand was to stop the illegal sanctions against the sovereign country. Freeland has played a central role in the so-called Lima Group, an illegitimate splinter of the OAS countries, which has the sole mission of installing an opposition government in Venezuela.
Hi, I'm the spokesperson for the Democratic Party, and I'm back to tell you why you need to vote blue this November. You know us as the party of love, tolerance, and compassion, but we're much more than that. We're the party of science, and the science is clear. Men have periods, babies are clumps of cells until they're born, and maybe a few minutes after. Vaccines save lives unless they're developed while Trump is president, and voting for us will end hurricanes, wildfires, and tornadoes.
I don't know why I bring all these papers. I never look at them.
Well, when you're giving numbers, I go, oh. I said that. Did you really do that?
I just say whatever they write down for me.
That's why you're guessing.
Okay, so
the last economic update, the last budget update from Freeland essentially gave the CBC an extra $42 million to help the CBC recover through the pandemic, right? Isn't that nice? And that's $42 million extra on top of the $1 billion plus they get every single year. So they got an extra $42 million from the feds to help them recover through the pandemic. Well, since the beginning of the pandemic, they handed out $46 million in bonuses. You see that math? An extra $42 million to help recover from the pandemic, then an extra $46 million in bonuses to their employees during the pandemic, right? So that just doesn't really add up to me.
Do we have anybody here tonight under the age of 30? Any 20-somethings? That's still the dumbest group of humans I've ever met in my life.
What's the other thing we know about this population? And it's a specific phase of life. Remember, age is more than a chronological fact. What else do we know about this population, 18 through 24? They are stupid. That is why we put them in dormitories, and they have a resident assistant. They make really bad decisions.